Can you see the brake check here?
A little bit. You need to go further back. 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 Further back.
Go toward you.
Go further back. Go further back. Go further back. Yeah, that's good. It's right there.
Just hold it the whole.
Perfect.
It's not going to be seen.
No, you can see it there.
What the fuck? I hate you.
Well, that's too far forward. Yeah, that's good.
Wow.
Right there.
You can go a little more forward. Stop. Yeah, that's good.
I can see it, Jen.
I don't trust you guys.
I can see it.
Oh, you said you could see it. Oh, I
Yeah,
thought you
yeah.
said you can't see it.
No, I can see it.
Is it angled okay?
Yeah. I mean,
Could you change it if you wanted to? Oh, you mean the
angle.
This angle, the
Yeah.
yaw.
the yaw angle. I mean, you could rotate
I didn't know
it.
if you meant like the
away
angle
from
of
you.
the actual stand.
Yeah, that works.
That works? Okay.
12 seconds later.
Yep.
You need to.
Wow. Well, now
Is
it's
it good?
never. It'll never. You got to rotate it a little bit to the left. Keep a little bit more. A little bit, just a tad more, like maybe 3 millimeters.
What
Done.
the hell?
Done.
I didn't even move it and you said done.
Perfect. Yeah, sure. Have we come up with an intro yet? We need an intro. We're like 23 episodes now.
I think Welcome to Break Check is our intro.
I meant like a little like jingle, something.
We don't need a jingle. People don't.
We need something.
Dude, who can beatbox the best?
Every time I see a jingle that somebody has in the beginning, I always fast forward through that part. I'm like,
If we make
stab.
it exactly 10 seconds, then they can do the little double tap on the screen and
10 seconds
move
is
10
too long.
seconds. And
It has to be like,
but if we make it less than
split
10
second.
seconds, then they're going to double tap the screen and it'll go too far, and then they'll miss half of whatever we say after the intro.
What if it was just like, Welcome to Break Check, do, and then
no.
It could just be Jen singing In the Arms of the Angel.
Sorry you're watching the show
yeah.
in the arms of the angel.
Yeah. Welcome to the worst part of your day.
It could be.
It could be. Welcome to
We are rivaling Hoovie's Garage. He says
Yeah.
he's the dumbest car YouTube channel on the internet. Nope.
Well, if that's the case, then
Let me introduce you to Break Check.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
welcome to Break Check, everybody.
Yeah. Hello. I was given something over Christmas
Oh,
from the person who helped create our number one self-proclaimed fan, Katie.
who helped create the fan?
Her dad.
Okay.
He gave me something for us, and these aren't car related, but they're
Okay.
nostalgic related, and they're awesome. I know
Oh.
all of us will love them because I already love them, and I know you two will as well.
Okay.
So he gave us a couple coasters.
Oh.
oh,
I see. Oh.
Can you guess what? Can you guess what they're supposed to be?
flash drives. I'm sorry. Floppy disk. The word F
It's not even
came
a floppy,
into my head.
but it's also not even a floppy disk.
Wait, what?
I don't know. Well,
It looks like a Nintendo cartridge, game cartridge.
exactly what it is.
Oh, okay.
If you find an old NES Nintendo system at any local garage sale, make sure you have your flash drive so you can play your games. No, your floppy disk. The
Yeah.
floppy disk goes in there. But he gave us
Oh man.
the original Super Mario Brothers.
Nice.
I don't know if you can see that. Right there, right there. And then I'm going to keep that one because I like Super Mario. And then I got this one for you, Excite Bike,
Ah.
even though you don't ride motorcycles.
I don't. I was partially hoping it was Duck Hunt.
Oh, that would
He
have been a
had
good one
Duck
too.
Hunt.
Did he?
I wonder, I'll bet you, Brian, you want to swap? We'll trade.
Swap them out? No, I love Duck Hunt.
Duck.
Duck Hunt.
Why can't we talk? Why are
As a
words
kid.
so difficult?
We
for
are
him?
professional podcasters.
is
We can talk.
Well, that's the problem. We're not podcasters. We're
That's
car
true.
entertainers
That's true.
who can't afford cars to entertain with. So we're just doing this.
We
That's
are-
the other thing.
We are
is
out of our element.
people call us out, and it's not the calling out, it's the smug attitude in which they do it, which is fine. You're entitled to that. Doesn't make me upset. I can just let it roll off the back. If anything, we're much more like entertaining comedy, whatever, than we are information giving podcasting.
Yeah.
We're just
I mean, we look up stuff, but
sure.
I
We're
mean,
expert Googlers.
do we try to be accurate? Well, yeah, we want to be accurate, but there are going to be multiple times when, we're not, and our information just sucks butt.
Well, you can do that part. I'm just gonna get it wrong.
I didn't know if I could say the ASS. I mean, there are times when I've cussed on here, but
It's a family Chanel.
Well, would we like to talk about a topic?
Talk about stuff.
Oh yeah, hmm
You
Oh,
know?
that's what we're here for.
yeah.
Well, I was going to ask you about snow mode.
Snow mode
Yeah.
in the Atlas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it work?
Yeah, I mean, I got here.
Oh, cool. Nice. Topic done.
We're talking to his ghost.
We got. Yeah, we got a little bit of snow, as across a lot of the nation last week. As you're watching this, it was,
You got a lot of what?
a bunch of snow.
3, 4
We
inches.
got about, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches.
I was going to say, it was quite a
Wow.
Yeah, so our Atlas has snow mode, and so I wasn't worried about getting here. It just primarily the car is front wheel drive, and when you put it in snow mode, it just changes the shift patterns. It makes the steering wheel a little bit tighter, so you can feel the road a little bit better.
bit. Right.
And it puts, I believe it's 80-20, like
Oh,
80% to the front and 20 to the rear to give you a little bit more traction.
So it does have all-wheel drive then?
Oh yeah, it's all-wheel drive.
Okay.
Yeah, when it's in economy or
Mhm.
economy, it's primarily just front-wheel drive.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. The Maverick has a snow mode, if I recall correctly. It has a little button, traction button. And I believe it has a snow mode. I never use it, though, because I don't think it actually really does anything.
Oh, it does in the Atlas. That is the first and only vehicle that I've driven where changing like this, putting in sport or changing the mode, because it has like an off-road mode, a snow mode.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of one of the upgrades on the transmission that we have.
Right.
And
Well,
but it's one of the only vehicles that I've driven that you can actually feel a distinct difference in
Yeah.
the way it drives.
I guess I shouldn't say that the modes in the Maverick don't do anything. They do. Like if you go into snow mode or mud mode, it allows a little bit of slip in the wheels, and it changes the feel of the pedal, the gas pedal. So like if I put it in sport mode, which why does the Maverick have a sport mode? But anyways,
It's a Maverick, dude. It can do whatever it wants.
I guess.
You know what a Maverick is? One that does not conform.
It's just a baby, so
Which
it
is
needs
if-
something.
It's a baby truck. It needs a sport mode.
Yeah.
And if you don't conform, are you just conforming to nonconformism? You can't not be a conformer.
It's true. You have to conform to something, even if it's non-conforming.
Yeah.
Like I never use it because I don't think it really affects my ability to drive in snow on a vehicle that is only front-wheel drive. But on that note, what do you think is the best drive system for snowy weather?
Subaru.
That's not a drive system, but
Like the drive system in a Subaru.
yeah, I mean,
Like
okay, yeah,
Like the
But-
four-wheel drive, Subaru has like nailed the all-wheel drive system.
yes, yeah, it is a very good system.
There's
From
a
what I've
reason
heard-
why Subaru is always like the car in rally,
right? Yeah, and Mitsubishi, the Evo, is also very good.
but they don't make those anymore.
Yeah, well, they still make Mitsubishi, right?
No, the Evo.
Oh, I thought they do make the Evo
I
still.
don't know if they do. It's
Now
not
I-
in America.
Now I have to look it up.
Now we have another pause.
Hey, you keep asking questions.
You keep bringing up topics that.
I'm an expert Googler, okay?
Yep.
We is professional.
We are professional.
We is professional.
They have the Outlander, the Outlander, the Outlander, the Eclipse, the
Wait, they have
Mirage, and the Mirage.
They have 3 different Outlanders.
Yes.
Are those just trim levels?
Yeah. They have the Outlander PHEV, the Outlander, and the Outlander Sport.
Okay. And then what are the other vehicles? The Mirage?
The Eclipse and the Mirage and the Mirage.
The Eclipse is now an SUV, right?
Yeah, it's a Eclipse Cross.
If you know,
There-
if you're not familiar, if you have seen the first Fast and Furious movie, the green car that Paul Walker is initially driving is a Mitsubishi Eclipse.
Yeah.
So that would be, like Ford's way of putting the Mustang name on a
SUV.
electric deal.
Yep.
So if you are a Mitsubishi, fanboy or fangirl, which I don't know anybody who is,
I don't know anyone who is. But I'm sure
surely there's
there.
at least one human in the planet that is like, Mitsubishi's the best vehicle ever made.
Right.
And they would probably be upset about the Eclipse name being on that. But
Probably, because I mean, it was a pretty cool sports car when it was
the
around.
Eclipse GSX was all-wheel drive. I think it was turboed, but it was a banger car.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, and now it's an SUV. It's like, once again with names, it's like stop trying to use names to carry vehicles. Like, just build a good vehicle and call it a new name. But yeah, Mitsubishi definitely is very light on their lineup now. It's holy cow.
But they don't have an Evo.
No Evo. He was right. No Lancer at all. It's that is actually a shame.
It is a shame.
When I was younger, I really wanted a Mitsubishi Evo
Because you can still
Fast
get the
and Furious thing.
WRX.
Yeah, you can.
It
still
was
get the-
always Subaru WRX STI versus the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo.
Yeah.
That was always that rivalry.
Yeah.
It's like the Mustang Camaro, but they don't make the Evo anymore. I guess Subaru won. Congrats, Subaru.
That's true.
Yeah, you win. So who do you think has the best all-wheel drive system? Don't be sad.
I've heard that Volvo has a really good all-wheel drive system. I've never driven any of these cars though yet, so I don't actually know.
Any vehicle from Volvo with their all-wheel drive? Is it the same across their platforms?
You want me to Google it?
I don't know. You have to. Because a lot of vehicles, a lot of manufacturers, they'll share that same type of system. It makes sense to share the same technology across your platforms.
Yeah.
And not reinventing wheels all the time. But I didn't know, because I know the Atlas is on the same platform as a Golf, which is weird because it's a 7-passenger SUV.
That is weird. And the Golf is a little...
Yeah, so they just stretched out the frame and the platform of the Golf.
Yeah.
But it's the same drivetrain.
Huh. Just with
So like
longer
it's got
drive
the same,
shafts.
yeah, it's got the same 3.6. It's just not as powerful as the Golf
Right.
or the GTI.
Yeah.
But it's got the same motor. That was one thing that made me a little bit more comfortable buying a first-year vehicle.
Right.
Is I know it's a proven platform as far as the drivetrain.
Right. And that's why I felt more comfortable driving the Maverick as well, because it's based off of other Ford vehicles.
I think the Subaru system is the best system.
I would, based off of what I know, I would agree with you. I think Subaru probably has the best. But in general, all-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive would be your selection for snow, in my opinion.
For snow?
For like slippery conditions.
All-wheel drive.
All-wheel drive. I guess I'm missing one. All-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive. Rear-wheel drive being the worst option for slippery conditions.
Does my four-wheel drive option come with a locker?
Maybe. Sometimes. Doesn't always. But just like in general, like if somebody who doesn't know is gonna buy a car and they live in an area that gets a lot of snow. Like,
Which would I recommend the most?
yeah, all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive.
I'd probably recommend all-wheel drive. Depends on the person, but I'd probably recommend all-wheel drive.
Yeah. For your average person who's not like a car enthusiast, I would say all-wheel drive for sure.
If you're someone who wants options and you want to get a little bit better gas mileage, because all-wheel drive systems do take a hit on your gas mileage.
Yeah.
I would go with a four-wheel drive if you have a little bit more experience.
Okay. So I is the dumb. And so what is the difference between all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive?
So all-wheel drive is the all four wheels are being driven all the time. You can't turn it on or off.
And most of the time, the computer determines how much power percentage goes to each individual wheel or which axle.
Yeah.
Okay.
A four-wheel drive system is primarily rear-wheel drive, or it can be front-wheel drive. And then you flip a switch or move a lever, depending on how old the vehicle is and how its system works. And then it can add in the other wheels. So if it's primarily rear-wheel drive, it will add in the front-wheel drive. But the thing with those systems is the gear ratios are oftentimes slightly different, and they recommend you don't use it on dry ground. You only use it in slippery conditions.
Yeah.
Oh.
And a locker is, so, as cars turn, the inside wheel turns at a slower rate than the outside wheel. A locker locks the two sides together, so they turn at the same rate. So that's why you don't use lockers on dry ground, because the inside wheel will be skipping because it's trying to keep up with the outside wheel. on
Yeah,
a turn. So that's why you only use lockers on slippery surfaces, off-road, ice, and that kind of thing, because it keeps both wheels getting constant power at the same rate.
It also makes it a lot more difficult to turn because it wants to push the car forward and you're trying to turn.
Yeah.
Right.
So
That's why you only
Okay.
use them off-road and slippery surfaces, or if you're stuck on a rock, kick on your lockers and
yeah, unless you're drifting, then you want your locker to be permanent.
yeah.
Oftentimes, what they'll do is they'll open the pumpkin and they'll weld the gears together so both wheels are locked together permanently.
Yeah.
And then you use that for drifting.
Yeah.
It sucks for daily driving because, like you said, you're going around turn and your inner wheel will be skipping
Yeah.
and you just
Oh, that's why you only make it a drift car.
Yeah.
yep.
And some cars have a front locker, some have a rear locker, some have both, and then some have a center locker that locks the front and rear axles together. Wow. So all four wheels go at the exact same rate.
Yeah, if you're into rock climbing, you'll definitely know about all that
Yeah.
because it's very common on rock climbers.
Range
that you want
Rovers come
lockers.
with a center locker. Most Range Rovers come with center locker.
I have been educated.
Education.
We should have brake check education sessions.
No, that's not going to go well at all. So, but Audi, BMW, Hyundai, Kia, Tesla, and Rivian are among the brands with new sales milestones in 2023.
You say Rivian.
Yeah, Rivian,
That's awesome.
right? Let's see. So let's see what Rivian, in its third year of sales, only 3 years they've been selling. Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hasn't been very long at all.
yeah, they're still really new. I just thought they've been around a little
I saw
longer.
one yesterday.
I have
on the
seen
way
one
home from
around.
work.
I
have
saw
seen
one last week.
Nice.
They're cool looking.
They
They're
are.
bigger in person than I thought they'd be.
Yeah.
Like from all the images, they look like they'd be like a mid-size, but they're almost like a full-size truck. It's like
Yeah,
the size of an F-150.
I was gonna say I think they're about F-150 size. Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's see. They reported an estimated 47,200 sales
From the Rivian?
from Rivian.
Wow.
47,000. That's big.
Yeah, that's really good. While total deliveries rose 147% in 2023, the fourth quarter sales dropped 10% from the third quarter, but 143% over 2022 to 2023. It's a huge, increase in sales. So yeah, way to go, Rivian.
Was that the biggest increase?
I don't know if it was the biggest. Let's see. Tesla sales soared 37%, so much bigger than
Way bigger.
Tesla. Kia was 13% increase. Hyundai was 11%.
Is it just me or does like Hyundai? It's just a fun car name.
It is.
Yeah,
Hyundai.
I'm not
Hyundai.
gonna lie. No offense to anyone who likes Hyundai, but every time I hear the name, I think of like just a cheap car.
Really?
I don't know why. It's
Well, I
it's my
mean-
impression of them.
I've heard that they're not reliable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're going for too much of the all show no go right now because they're
Right.
looking a lot nicer, but the reliability hasn't improved.
Right. We had so one of the hygienists that I work with, her car ended up breaking down.
Oh no.
And so she was looking into cars. She has a Toyota, but it was like it had like 150,000 miles on it, I think. But excuse me, she was looking into Hyundai, and I said, "Well, if you want reliability, go back to Toyota." And she's like, "Well, I really want to get a Lexus," and she's like, "She can't find any anywhere though. Like it's hard for her."
Which is a
But-
Toyota.
Yeah.
Yes, which is a Toyota. And I said, yeah, I haven't heard great things about Hyundai. I said, unless Hyundai has been improving, what they've been doing. But she loved the Hyundai because she was like, it has like all these features and all this kind of stuff. And it was telling us when we were too close to somebody and it pushed us out of the way and all this kind of stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, yeah, it has all the nice schnazzy stuff like Kia does too. But then in the long run, you're going to have a lot of heartache.
How
Yeah,
long?
that's-
Possibly.
How long will the nice stuff operate?
Right.
properly?
You might have a lot of heartache. But like I
Yeah.
said, I don't know if they've improved what they've done in the past.
How long until the weather stripping around your windshield comes out?
Yeah.
That's,
Right. And it's one of those things too where it's like if you're looking at a car that is relatively cheap compared to its competition and yet it has more electronic features and accessories, you have to ask yourself, where did that money come from? Because that everything that they put in a car costs money. And if the cost of the car is not higher than everybody else, but it has more features than everybody else, they saved money somewhere.
Right.
And oftentimes that's in the quality of the core vehicle, the engine, transmission,
Because most of the time a company will say, you need to produce this vehicle, here's your budget.
Right.
Let's say you have this much money. So if they want to improve one area of the car, they have to take money from another area of the car if they have to stay within budget.
But Genesis, which is Hyundai's luxury brand.
Yeah, they have a new Genesis dealer in town.
Yeah. Nice.
Well, they just built it. They haven't put any cars on the lot yet. But
Okay, so it's like new.
yeah.
Nice. It went up 23%. BMW rose 9%. And Audi 22% increase. So yeah.
So
Rivian
far exceeded.
Yeah, had a way bigger increase in sales than any other car company.
Is it just me, or every time I see the front of a Rivian, I picture when it gets plugged in to charge at night, that the charger is just like one large, male end of a plug sticking out of the wall, and you just drive and plug in the front end.
It does kind of look like that.
It looks like an outlet.
It does.
I don't know if that was by design. I'll have to ask the designer, not the person who owns Rivian, because obviously Elon Musk isn't the one who created the Cybertruck.
Maybe the designer, he was literal. And they're like, design us an electric vehicle,
An electric plug-in vehicle.
Electric plug-in vehicle. He's like, outlet.
Yeah. I'm taking my inspiration from an extension cord. Yeah.
He was probably looking around his room. Yeah, and then he saw the extension cord and he's like, that's smart.
I got it. There's no way they're going to approve this. And he's drawing it out. They're like, beautiful.
We love it.
Yeah.
It's like the guy who came up with the Hot Pockets tune. It's like, so Jim, what tune did you come up with for Hot Pockets? Hot Pocket.
I love it. Not as good as your by Menon, but it's good.
And for the record, credit to Jim Gaffigan on that joke.
Yeah. Not us. Jim Gaffigan.
Sometimes you gotta wonder if they just really didn't come up with anything until they got there.
I think these are all people just testing the boundaries. Speaking of testing the boundaries, you want to hear conspiracy? We haven't talked about conspiracy in a while.
It has been.
Is it a car conspiracy?
It can be.
Car connected?
It can be. Because it's life connected and cars are part of life.
I love how our podcasts are so ADHD. We'll go from one thing and then we'll go to
we went
by the way,
what's the best all-wheel drive system to conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Hey, but a cop out. A cop out.
Is that what you were trying to say?
No, I was trying to say podcast.
Oh.
What? Why?
Okay.
Why?
There's a P in there. There's a C. There's an O. Okay.
We
But
are
for the-
so bad at words.
But for the record, the way that I see this whole podcast thing is a way for people to get to know us.
Yeah, our personality.
Yeah, so it's we can talk about things that are
We've
not
actually
just car related.
We've actually had a viewer make that comment, somebody that has known you for a long time, but they haven't they don't know you.
Yeah.
And so they made a comment to us. They're like, it's been awesome to see Jason's real personality, because in reality, this isn't reality.
We're all AI.
In normal life, Jason, he growing up, he was a very quiet, shy person by nature.
Pretty reserved.
And so unless you get to know him, unless you make the effort to get to know him, you don't see this side of him a whole lot. So it's been really cool to see that. And we've had viewers make comments about it's cool to get to know you.
And that's kind of my whole thought behind this is it gives us an opportunity for people to get to know who we are and enjoy us just talking about stuff. And then, when we have the ability, we're going to make, the more entertaining special type. We call it specials. But, yeah. So
you ready for this conspiracy?
let's do the conspiracy.
Sure.
It's a Mandela effect conspiracy.
Richard was like this. I got to tell him about that conspiracy. I got to.
Don't forget.
We can't go off the track on this.
It's crazy. I heard about this. Okay. So, you know what the Mandela effect is?
I've heard of it.
Do you know what it is? The Mandela effect?
I've heard of it.
So it's where you misremember something. For example,
that's right.
in Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood,
Okay.
the show,
Okay.
is the lyric to the song that he sings, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood or a beautiful day in this neighborhood.
I thought it was in the neighborhood.
I don't remember.
So the actual lyric is this neighborhood.
Ah,
So or like Fruit of the Loom claims to never have had a cornucopia in their logo.
What?
Cornucopia is the basket
Yeah.
the fruit's falling out
I
of.
thought
Okay.
they did.
See, that's the Mandela
also
effect.
also another really well known one is Hi Ho is the from Snow White.
Oh yeah, the song,
Yeah, hi
the
ho,
dwarf song.
hi ho.
Oh, yeah.
It's off to work we go.
Yeah.
It's actually they in the end they say it's home from work we go.
Yeah, it's home from work we go. At the yeah. On the way home.
On the way home, it's home from work we go, and because they're heading home, they're not going to.
Yeah. So that's the Mandela effect. So the Mandela conspiracy, there was a woman who like saw therapy over this
Really?
Oh.
Okay.
because she swore that the Fruit of the Loom logo had a cornucopia. And so she went as far as contacting Fruit of the Loom, and they're like, we have never had, and they went as far as putting out like a timeline of all their logos.
Really?
And never once in any of the logos was there a cornucopia. And she was like bent, like therapy bent on the fact that there was a cornucopia. So
Oh,
she
man.
dug through all of her clothes. She found some old clothes from when she was a kid. She went to her friends' closets,
Right.
looked through all their clothes, and she found a shirt with the Fruit of the Loom logo that has a cornucopia on it.
Oh my
when
gosh.
when Fruit of the Loom itself said, we have never had a cornucopia.
This one, right?
Yes.
See, I could have sworn I've seen that before too.
With a cornucopia?
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
I saw
I've
one with a
seen that before.
cornucopia.
Yeah, but that one doesn't have a cornucopia.
Okay, is that not what that is? This brown part, this basket thing.
Oh yeah, that is. I'm sorry, I couldn't see it from that angle. But so the Mandela conspiracy is this: that the world elites and the system and whatever you want to call it, the man, whatever you want to call it, that there's this. They're testing. It's a worldwide test on can they erase history, can they change history and make you think that it's just like this fog of the mind where
Right.
you misremember something and you just accept it. So can they alter history? Can they change history and make you think that it's just a passing thing?
I mean, they're trying.
Right. And so
Interesting.
the Mandela conspiracy is, and this is a huge evidence for it, is the fact that all these things that we remember being one way legitimately were that way. And the system, or whatever you, like I said, whatever you want to call it,
Right.
has been changing things and in complete denial that we're misremembering and it never really existed.
So they're gaslighting us.
Yeah, it's the world gaslighting the
Interesting.
population of the planet.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
And it's funny when people try to bring those proofs back up and they're still like, nope, that's not what happened. Dude, I got it right here. It's
Yeah.
Bro, look at it.
Like the
So
chick
you-
has a picture
I was
of
gonna say,
her shirt with the logo where she's holding it up and there's a cornucopia on an actual shirt with the logo. And you can tell it's worn. It's not like something that she just had printed up.
yeah.
Interesting.
It
Yeah,
makes me
'cause-
think about when I got out of school or when we got out of school and they were like, oh, hey, Pluto's not a planet anymore.
Right.
And then there was this huge, like the social reaction to that
Was
in society, the worldwide, like was immense. And so that could have been like a part of a test saying, how will they react to something this extreme? And they saw that reaction. They're like, okay, well, we can't call it a planet again. It's a dwarf planet
Right.
because it was such an outrage of reaction amongst the world.
Right.
Because if that's not thing, how can you trust anything that you ever learned in school? Because if like for example, and I know this is an extreme, but if I got 100%, or if I got 98% on every test when it came to solar system, because I always missed Pluto,
Right.
right? And so my grade went from a 4.0 to a 3.9.
Mm-hmm.
But then they came back and they're like, oh, Pluto's not a planet. Well, technically, I never missed any of those questions.
That's true.
So you'd have to go back and change my entire school grade system for every test that I had where I missed Pluto.
Your entire school history, almost.
Right. And so how can you trust anything that we've been taught? Or is it just, hey, this is what we want you to teach them, and then you just teach them whatever paper you were given as your curriculum? And so the Mandela effect conspiracy is that they're changing and rewriting history or seeing how far they can go with making us, you know,
Believe
with
something
deleting
that-
history.
Interesting.
Isn't that nuts?
Interesting.
Bigfoot's real. Believe in yourself even if nobody does.
Loch Ness Monster is real too.
Yep.
I will-
Birds aren't real. And
I will
pandas are spies.
I will say caveat to that. Don't just believe anything. Make sure you have evidence to support it.
Yeah.
But like finding a shirt in somebody's closet that has the logo with the cornucopia, that's pretty good evidence.
yeah, I
So-
don't remember if it's
Yeah.
her shirt that she found or if it was a friend's. It may have been her own.
Right.
But I mean, this chick, it was even her therapist was like, you need to let this go.
Right.
And she's like, no. And then she proved it.
I mean, hopefully she can let it go now that she has evidence of it and, you know, live her life.
Or she'll get even more passionate.
Maybe.
She
Because
might.
she's like, at least I know I'm not psychotic. I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
And now she's going to drive the whole thing even harder now.
Which,
maybe, but-
you know, there are times when we do need people like that because they'll bring back the history that people tried to erase. I mean, when she was younger, she could have had a family member that kept trying to gaslight her and making her think that this wasn't real. And then she found it and she's like, this is real. And so now as an adult, she's like, no,
Passionate
stop.
about it.
She's very passionate about it. She could be that.
The
That could be
world,
happening.
the world system is a narcissistic manipulator.
It is.
Hey, I was going to do like a quick, if you're watching and you do leave comments, you can do this one smug too. I don't know how you would, but so it's, I am debating between a few different vehicles for my overland. I want a full-size truck. I've settled on that. So don't recommend anything that's not a full-size pickup truck.
Okay.
Yaris.
Yep.
Not that.
Yaris gonna recommend something that's a pickup truck. So the ones that I'm debating between, there's one that's not a full size.
Okay.
So Toyota Tacoma, Toyota Tundra, Nissan Titan. So the Tundra would be a TRD because it's got the skid plates and the better shocks, off-road shocks. The Nissan Titan would be a Pro 4X because it has a locker
Right.
and all the off-road goodies from the factory. But those are primarily the main three that I'm looking at.
You not
So if you have any thoughts or opinions, I'm really leaning heavy to the Toyota, the Tundra.
okay.
Man, I love the first gen. It would be the V8. It would be the second or third gen Tundra or the first gen Nissan Titan.
Okay. Did
Those are
you
the ones that I'm looking at.
So did you go away from the Raptor then? I thought you were
The only
considering
downside
Raptor.
to I would love the Raptor, but the only downside, there's two downsides to the Raptor. One, it's really wide, which, I mean, it's designed for Baja racing. It needs to be wide.
Right.
It's not designed for overlanding. It's a purpose-built vehicle, and it does what it's built for
Very well.
amazingly well. But so it's extra wide, so if I ever wanted to go exploring on any trails or anything, it'd be hard. I'd be kind of limited on where I could go.
Isn't the Tundra pretty wide too? Isn't it like really
Not
big?
nearly as wide. Yeah, it's,
Okay.
it's 79 inches wide.
Okay.
The Raptor's like 88 or 87,
okay.
87, I think. The other problem with the Raptor is because it's designed for Baja racing, it's not designed to haul a lot of weight because the suspension needs to be soft for
Yeah,
travel
it's
so you
very-
can jump it and it can just like settle into the landing.
Yep.
And so the
you're right.
payload on it is less than like a Ford Ranger. And
That
so
makes
if I
sense.
was to
Okay.
get a Raptor, I could, but I would have to immediately drop about $1,600 to get a rear leaf springs that can hold the extra weight.
Gotcha.
I'd have to
gotcha.
change the suspension, which would change what makes it a Raptor.
Right. Gotcha. Yep.
And so if I got an F-150, it would have to be like an FX4 or a Tremor package that can hold the weight and still has a rear locker and it's a little bit narrower.
Okay.
But a lot of the F-150s don't have the reliability of like a Toyota
Right.
or a Nissan. They have more power. They have a higher payload. So if I'm in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
I want something that I know is going to start the next morning.
Right.
Toyota and Nissan have a better track record. Sorry, Ford.
Land Rover, Range Rover.
Yeah. But those are the three that I've kind of like settled into. Toyota Tacoma, Toyota Tundra with the 5.7 V8 or the first gen Nissan Titan with the 5.6 V8.
Okay.
So if you have any opinions on any of those, if you have more knowledge on those than we do on anything that we talk about, put a vote in the comments and I'll probably get something else. Just
Nice.
joking. Just joking. Do you want to go over the cheapest and most expensive cars to maintain currently, modern cars nowadays.
To maintain.
Yeah, so the cars that cost the most and the least to maintain.
Oh, to maintain.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The cost of maintenance.
Gotcha.
Like
I thought
cost of ownership, oil changes and fuel and like everything goes into
Okay.
just having the car.
Okay.
Or the most and least expensive vehicles to insure. Because a lot of people, when they buy a car, they don't think about how much is insurance going to cost me.
Yeah. Until
Because
after you've purchased it.
Until after you purchase it, you're like, wait, I got to spend how much for? I can't afford that.
Yeah.
My payment's already whatever.
Right.
And and there's a lot of factors that go into insurance, like your age, your gender, the type of car.
Let's rip the Band-Aid and do insurance.
Insurance?
Insurance.
According to Forbes.com. So it's a long, like they have a full list, but so I mean, I can just do the first few.
Yeah.
But it ranges from this is the average annual. So they took everybody, regardless of age or gender or anything, driving record.
Gotcha. Okay.
They just took the average annual premium.
Okay.
So this is how much these cars would average over the year. The cheapest one is the Honda CR-V,
Oh.
which is also one of the best fuel economy small SUV type vehicles. Average annual premium of $1,574.
Wow.
Annually $1,500.
Okay.
Wow.
And it
Okay.
ranges all the way up to $1,789 on this particular list. But the top five,
Okay.
the Honda CR-V. Number 2, Jeep Wrangler.
Really?
Oh,
Which is-
probably because it's so simple. It's easy to
It's
fix.
simple. It's
chip
easy to
fit.
fix. The panels, there's not a whole lot of contouring or shape to it.
Hmm.
And one of
Okay.
the factors that goes into the Wrangler being cheaper is when people buy Wranglers, they're very passionate, and so they keep them for a long time.
Mm.
And a lot of the times, the damage on those are off-road and people that damage them. Sometimes, if it's not problematic or operational damage, they'll keep it on there as sort of like a memento of the trail,
Badge of honor.
badge of honor on the trail. And so they're cheap to fix. There's a ton of them everywhere.
And there's
people
a
that-
huge aftermarket
Yeah.
for them.
And people that get them typically keep them for a very, very long time. But the Jeep Wrangler, interesting tidbit, is been in within the top 5 of cheapest insured vehicles, like over the last 5 or 10 years.
Wow.
It's always in the top 5. So, number 3, Subaru Crosstrek. Number 4 is the Subaru Forester. And number 5 is the Hyundai Tucson.
The Tucson. All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Medium expensive. This ranges from
Okay.
$1,800 to $1,900.
Okay.
The top 5 on that, the Jeep Cherokee Limited Edition,
Mm.
the Chevrolet Blazer, Chevy Silverado pickup truck, the 1500, the Toyota Tundra,
Huh?
number
Oh,
4,
there you go.
and number 5 is the Volkswagen Jetta. It's interesting so far that on the cheapest and the middle, there's no like Honda, which are also very popular cars.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Honda. Wasn't there a Honda on the cheapest one?
CR-V.
The
Honda CR-V was the cheapest.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that there hasn't been more.
Oh, more Hondas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like a
Um,
Honda Civic.
And then the most expensive, there's 8 on this list.
Okay.
Ranging from $2,000 to $3,900 a year. This is the average.
Okay.
Okay.
So what would be $3,960 divided by 12? How much is that per month?
Calculator time.
$3,960 divided by 12.
330 a month.
$330 a month for one of these.
Ouch.
I feel like some of the like multi-million-dollar hypercars would actually be more expensive than that.
Yeah, they're not on this list though. These are like the
Okay,
everyday
so-
consumer.
Okay,
cars.
so these aren't like the
Yeah,
extreme.
this isn't like a
expensive cars.
Koenigsegg or
Okay.
nothing like that.
Okay.
Or a Maserati, nothing like that.
I was expecting the top of the list to be like, like 2 million a year or something
Yeah.
crazy.
No. So on the most expensive cars to insure, averaging between $2,000 and $3,900, the Lexus NX 300.
Okay.
The next one kind of surprised me because it's the only truck on the high end list is the Dodge Ram 1500 Rebel,
Interesting.
which is an
That
off-road
is-
truck. I know trucks premiums are usually a little bit higher because there's what they call expected damage because it's
Yeah.
made to haul things.
Right.
But yeah, the only truck that's that high, I'm surprised that the Ram Rebel is that expensive.
That is interesting. I wonder if it's because the Ram, in my opinion, the Ram feels like a little bit more of like a luxury type of pickup truck, like more so than Chevy and Ford. So I wonder if it's just more expensive to repair. I
I don't
wonder if
know.
that's part of the reason.
Because there was a Silverado and a Tundra in the previous list, in the cheaper list.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 on the most expensive is the Lexus RX 350.
Okay, so a second Lexus then.
Mm-hmm. The next one is a Nissan Altima.
Really,
Oh.
Altima?
Yeah. Average annual premium is $2,130.
Wow.
Ooh.
Next one, Tesla Model 3 Standard.
Okay.
I could see that being
Yeah.
that it's a newer
Tesla's, a lot of electric vehicles are
Are-
going to have high insurance premiums because you're carrying a lot more mass into accidents, so they can cause more damage.
Yeah.
And the cost to replace that battery is like another car.
Right. Well, plus if the battery gets damaged, which to be clear, batteries in most EVs are actually pretty safe for the most part. But if they do get damaged, the entire car is a loss because once they catch fire, they burn for days because they just keep burning.
Yep.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Uh,
so if the battery gets damaged, like the whole car's a write off. It's toast.
Mm-hmm. The last 3, the Volvo XC90 T8 Inscription. It's a long name. Then third Lexus, the Lexus ES 300. So
Okay.
I think the lesson that I'm getting from that is there's 3 Lexuses on the top.
Yeah.
Buy a Toyota.
Right.
Yeah, own a Lexus if you own a Toyota.
the
Because there's
same
no
basic
Toyotas
car.
in these top 8. And then the last one with $3,960 average annual premium is the Tesla Model S Performance. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. I can see that. Considering, because I think that's one of the ones that does 0 to 60 in
Yeah.
like 2.5 seconds.
The 2 that surprised me is the Dodge Ram and the Nissan Altima,
Yeah.
that they're that expensive.
Yeah. Those two are surprising.
Yep.
Huh. All right.
Yeah, there you go. According to Forbes.com.
There you go. Now we have some more car related content.
Yay!
Yay.
Was this our exit?
This is our exit.
This is our exit. Yep. Stay tuned for throughout the year because we're going to do a lot more like actual driving car related stuff. We have stuff in the works that we're talking about and
Yes.
in the future, like competitions where we can't see properly.
What?
I'll just say that.
I mean, I know what you're talking about, but that's
Yeah.
that's one way to word it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's true.
No.
Yeah,
Competition where you can't see properly. I mean,
it's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
so that may be our next video to come out.
It could be.
Wait, what?
Well, we got to wait for good weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
want to
no,
do, I don't want to do it when it's 20
next
degrees
video,
outside.
not next video like next week, but our next
Our next-
special.
Our next
That's-
outdoor
okay.
live action
Yeah.
video.
I was like, excuse me?
The editor's like, no, it's
Well,
not.
we'll be in
I'm
the
going to
warm.
have to animate all that.
Yeah, we'll be warm in the cars. You can stand outside with the camera, right?
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay.
Well, you'll have the duct tape coat from when we stick you onto the car.
Easy. We duct tape around the wrists and the ankles, and the heat stays in.
Yeah, totally works.
I'll just videotape it from the house. Okay, guys, let's go. Do your thing.
We'll get you a good zoom lens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thanks
right.
for tuning in again. Like, subscribe, and share.
And check out our new website, breakchk.com.
Yep. Get some merch. Order it. It's live now, right?
It is.
It is live.
It is live indeed. So
Hey, at least it didn't take 4 years.
I would
that's
say,
true.
yeah, I would say live in 25, but it's not 2025.
I mean, we can close the website and reopen it in 2025.
Well, hopefully it will still be open in 25.
Hopefully. I guess it would be open in 24. Open in. There's no
You
number
can
that
buy
rhymes
more
in.
in 24.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey.
Buy more in 24.
It's got to rhyme. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. We're out of here.
Goodbye, everyone.